Power Book 2 Ghosts, Episode 6, What's Free? I believe the opening scene to this one was the welcome home party for Lorenzo. A lot of tension. You can kind of see a lot of tension in Monet's face because she is kind of conflicted.
So this week didn't really, I don't know, it kind of felt like we were stuck in mud a little bit. And I think the biggest reason why is because of Monet having to weigh her options. Mm-hmm. I guess that's the nicest way I can put it. She's kind of dragging her feet, getting a lay of the land. And honestly, from what she's seen since Lorenzo has been home, it makes me very surprised as to the decision that she ultimately ends up making at the end of this. A lot of people's decision making is up for question. I'm not going to jump all over it just now because I think they're going to play into future threads. But I just feel like right now, at least with Monet, she's well, at least this episode, she was kind of biding her time to see what Lorenzo was going to do. Mm-hmm. And now that she sees that, like, he just wants a housewife again. Yeah, well, we'll see where
things
that
have definitely changed.
Yeah.
In the, 10 years that he was gone?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. No, I
but
agree.
The one thing that I can say with seeing what Lorenzo has done in the short amount of time that he's been back and what I've seen from Monet, it's just like with Monet, it's the next scandal. How do we survive the next fight, the next battle? It's always one battle at a time with her. And with Lorenzo, you can see very early, it's all long ball with him. Mm-hmm. He's all about long game. He does not play that survival shit. He looks to sustain himself for a millennia. So they're not on the same page because he's thinking about his kids' futures, while Monet is and has always been thinking about her survival. Agreed. It's always knee-jerk reaction with her. And I think that's ultimately led her to not having no friends. She had one friend. She had one friend, a very good one to have, very powerful one. And then for some reason or another, she's decided not to go that route, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
For sure. In the welcome home party, we also see that Zeke comes into the house to, I guess, enjoy the party.
Ain't no bitch in my blood.
And Lorenzo says,
ain't no bitch in my blood.
Hold on, bro. I don't know you. Who are you?
Bro, he ain't never seen a picture. He ain't never seen this. Come on, man.
Like, Monet has to literally introduce him. Like,
no, I think he smells it, bro.
Oh, no, for sure.
Bro, Lorenzo's not no sucker, man. He love Monet, but he ain't no damn dummy.
For sure.
He's not dumb. So he like, yeah, nephew. Mm-hmm. Sure. Right.
Even further proof that he's no dummy.
That Drew.
He picks up on the fact that Drew is gay.
Yeah, easily.
Very easily.
He been out of jail 5 minutes. And he has the full lay of the land. So if he taught Monet, then that checks because, you know what I'm saying? He definitely seems to be the more seasoned of the two, for sure.
Yep. And then also, despite giving Diana so much praise, he still wants Drew to run everything, which...
But he always wanted Drew to run everything. We wanted Drew to run shit when he was still in prison. Mm-hmm. I think he wants Diana to be their corporate arm, their legit arm. Somebody that can get them into certain spaces that are close to them right now. Again, more long ball. Like, Diana wants to go to school, and she's more beneficial to us there than she will ever be here or in the streets. So, like, why try to handicap her? Why try to cuff her here?
True.
You know what I mean? Like, you would prefer control over power. They're not always the same thing.
Yeah. The thing that I find weird about Drew's ascension to the top is that there's never really been any key moments to make me believe that Drew is that guy. And then all of a sudden in this episode, he's kind of forced into that role, and he kind of does it kind of well.
No, okay, so I'll give him a little bit more credit than that because they have been laying the bread marks for Drew to be the one that ends up taking over. If you think about how the Tejadas first found out about course correct in the first place, that was Drew. Drew sniffed all that shit out.
Okay.
Right? Drew was also the one that got Zeke up out of that shit with Lil Guap. Right? Zeke probably would have ended up being dust. You know what I'm saying? Some retired ex-ball player, if not for Drew. So he's tough enough. He's smart enough. He has the temperament because he's the only one in that house that him and Diana that don't just jump at the first piece of red meat that they see, with the exception of Everett. But yeah, I mean, I do think that Drew, out of the three, because Diana, as smart as she is, she's not gonna hold up in the streets. She's not going to hold up there. Kane, we know what Kane's issues are. Mm-hmm. Drew, like he said, Drew is the best of both worlds, and I don't think they have a better option. Tariq was making himself a very attractive option, and then caught a couple charges that'll stick with him for the rest of his life. So
for sure. Now, I would agree with you that because of what you just said, he's definitely probably the best option of the three. However, I don't think Power did all that great of a job of developing that. They kind of focused a little too much more on the whole situation with Everett as opposed to developing him on that side. At least as far as a character building standpoint goes.
The one thing I can say from these type of shows, though, is that your development in this, like in that game, is doing it. You don't develop at home sitting with your mom or making money drops or shit like that. That's not your development. Your development is actually getting out there and doing it. So now that Lorenzo's home and he's tapped Drew as the heir apparent, now you'll begin to see, even in this next episode coming up, you'll begin to see him start doing some of this shit that he's gonna need to do. So I think it's still a build. It's obviously they ain't going Monet, Mecca, and Lorenzo ain't going nowhere anytime soon. So it's definitely a long ball thing.
For sure. Let's transition this over a little bit to Tariq. In the prison cell, he talks to Kanan and figures that he needs to go to war with the Tejadas. The Tejadas also clearly have their own in-war in their family with Monet and Kane and, Drew and Lorenzo. So it doesn't seem like it's going to fare very well for the Tejadas since everything is kind of going to shit behind the scenes.
So it's like it's almost too much to pay attention to because everybody has an angle. Mm-hmm. Everybody has an angle. It's like, okay, so Monet is trying to keep her hands on course correct, right? Even though Lorenzo knows about it and he's probably going to put or no. So she wants to keep her hands on it and keep it away from Lorenzo. But then Kane suggests putting Drew in charge of it, knowing damn well that that's who Lorenzo has tapped to be the next guy. They tried to give it to Brayton. She wasn't feeling it, right? So now they rocking with Tariq again. But watch Drew end up working with Tariq. And there was no reason that they had to be there except for Kane mentioning it. So it's like, it's triple crossing moves going on everywhere. Mm-hmm. Then you got Diana, right? So here's what I didn't get about what was going on with Diana, right? Diana, although she wants certain things from her mother, she has always been very differential. She's always deferred to her mom, very respectful, right? Even in a disagreement, she has never been spiteful to her mother. So to see her like cook her dad breakfast and not bring her mom nothing.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Making these little comments and shit during dinner and shit like that, rolling her neck. That was a little crazy. It's a little out of character. It's like, how far are you gonna draw this out? Like when she finally got choked up in the bathroom, I was like, about damn time. About fucking time.
Yeah.
Like, and then when she confronted her about taking the money, she like, well, I had to do what I had to do. Oh boy. Bob.
Yeah, that
all them wolf tickets you be selling, you gonna let her say that to you?
For sure.
Damn, Monet.
For sure.
Damn, Monet.
A little wild. She kind of, yeah, like you said, she kind of got
She set her straight.
Disrespectful, but I don't know. We'll see what ends up happening with that. Sax believes wholeheartedly that Tariq killed a cop.
Sax is just like, oh my God. I swear to God, he's like 90% of white guys in America. He's just so normal. It's just so him. Like, it's just, I think that's why they wrote his character like that. Like, he's probably 90% of white America when they see these kind of things going on. Come on. You did it, right? I mean, just tell me how you did it. I would bet my life he in my career that he killed the cop, and you'd be fucking wrong.
Right.
You'd be dead ass wrong once again, Sax.
Which is nuts.
Your bias has led you down the wrong road every step of the way in your career. Yeah. Every fucking step of the way. You always think you know, you never do, and you end up stepping in shit. You do it every fucking time. You were a district attorney, fam. You were a New York district attorney. Mm-hmm. And you shit down your leg because you just couldn't keep your nose out of stuff that it shouldn't have been in.
Yeah.
Like that is Sax. The ultimate Karen.
The problem with this situation is he's completely wrong about Tariq killing a cop. Tariq did kill Reynolds.
Well, he killed Reynolds, but Sax's premise is that Tariq is the driving force of all of that, which he wasn't.
Correct.
Right? Like, Jabari Reynolds went all on his own and did all of that shit with the book and all that other stuff. Fucking Kane shot his ass right after he had already killed Ramirez. He kind of didn't have no choice.
For sure.
But he killed him. He did kill him. So, he's implicated. I'm just saying, like, Sax's thought of it is that Tariq is just this criminal mastermind. Right, yeah. Somebody else is going to die because you released him. They probably will, though. Let's be honest. And you know who knew that, though? You know who knew that the best? Effie. Said those words literally. Yes. So isn't it surprising that 2 weeks later that she's in this nigga's bed and not just giving him the goods, but y'all together, y'all Bonnie and Clyde now?
Thank you.
What the fuck happened?
I understand that Tariq needs somebody, but from Effie's standpoint, if you know he's such a monster, why is this a
no,
thing?
It backs off of her character unless all is not as it seems. Now, I said there was a couple things in here that stood out to me that didn't make a bunch of sense. This was the first one. Was Effie coming back to Tariq in his time of need, showering him with the love that he needs, just in the nick of time, right? It seems all very convenient, but at the same time, very anti what she was just telling Diana a week ago before he got arrested. Mm-hmm. So, I'm going to keep my eyes open. That's all I'm going to say on that one. But it was very shocking. It was, hold on, you a strong, independent black woman just a minute ago. Don't do that.
No, that's a fact.
Now you back here acting like Summer Walker in London on the track.
Yo.
Get out of here.
No, for sure, though. So, Tariq basically, confides in Braden that basically he's been lying the entire time. And
finally tells this nigga the truth.
Tells him the truth.
Effie asked that nigga like 5 times in a row, but did you tell him why he needed to know? No, but did he know? Nah, but just think about it, though. Shouldn't he have known why he didn't need to talk to Kane? Like, bruh, yeah, you was dead ass wrong.
For sure.
Don't call him stupid. If he's stupid, you stupid.
No, that's a fact.
And both of y'all stupid.
That's a fact. But in probably one of the best pieces of writing this season, Braden calls out Tariq for choosing this life just the same as he did.
Bro, I seen that scene. I'm like, I know good goddamn well you didn't tell this man that he chose this life. I know good goddamn well you didn't just tell him that he chose this life of all people. Not Mr. Penthouse. Not Mr. Manhattan Penthouse. Spoon-fed since the day he was born. Don't do that. Don't do that. We're not even going to play that. That's the entire premise of this entire show. It is the one thing, the one constant at this show that keeps it permanently planted in fiction is the fact that Tariq's tantrum from his parents' divorce led him to be the biggest drug dealer in New York. That is the one thing that they can never undo from this show. It will forever be a fantasy because of that. But I mean, it's good. It's been good. It has been great. Great television. I love reviewing it. But boy, it sounds like maybe they heard the criticisms. Maybe they reflected and looked back on it and said, you know what? That needs to be acknowledged because it's kind of nuts when you really sit back and think about it. Like, this is not... He said it. Like, as he's saying it, I'm like, I have said this 500 times about Tariq. I have said these exact words about Tariq 500 times. There are people actually out here dying for this shit. They need it to survive, to live another day. And you out here choosing it. Go the fuck home. Ask your dad to give you a job. You mean like your dad tried to do with you? Like your dad tried to do with you when he tried to have you working at Truth? And then all of a sudden here you go fucking around with punk ass Dre selling drugs.
Yep. I don't know. I just thought that was
big hypocrite.
Insanely well. I thought it was well written. Just because, like you said, they acknowledged the fact that's why we here.
Finally.
That's why we here.
Shit.
Back to the Effie thing. Well, from the other standpoint, Lauren is basically trying to come to understand literally everything that's going on around her.
Because all that shit happened very fast for her.
For sure. And while I understand Tariq needing somebody, I feel like he should at least kind of understand that she is completely confused and in the dark about this entire thing. So, like, being this mad at her.
He doesn't know about all of that shit with Carrie and the investigators. So she looking at it like, well, damn, I low-key kind of put you there. You know what I'm saying? I helped you, and they kind of forcing me to continue to help you. So, like, it's not really a good thing for us to be around each other right now. Mm-hmm. He doesn't know that. So he looking at it as, well, damn, you just going off of what they saying. Like, you know me. You know I didn't do that shit, even though I halfway did it. But you know I ain't do all of that shit. But you just gonna go along with it because they saying it. But I kind of was responsible for, getting you where you was at. So it's a real awkward situation.
For sure.
Him telling her that he was done with her and all that shit. That was I don't even know if Jamie was that hard on little old Angie or well, you know what? He got that way to Tasha when he was getting ready to be governor. That's when he got that way on Tasha. Fuck it, I don't give a damn. I'm done with you. Leave me alone. That's when he got like that on Angela or on goddamn Tasha.
Just lost the love of my life. Tasha, have some respect. That was kind of rough.
I don't know.
And then also poking her in the forehead. I mean, he was a little rough on Tasha.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I just thought that was kind of weird that he wouldn't at least have some understanding, I guess. But it is what it is. Davis McClain has been getting the bag all episode. Well, all season.
If Sax don't fuck it up.
That's a fact. And I thought it was hilarious that when Lorenzo turned on the reggaeton music or whatever music that was, Drew can't fucking dance. Drew has no fucking rhythm whatsoever. Everybody else was cool. He couldn't get it together. He didn't know what the fuck he was doing. Any other scenes or anything like that stick out to you?
Well, she ran off to go get the cheesecake.
Yeah. Yep. Oh.
AKA tell Mecca that, the deal is off. Which is another one of these moves that I've been hanging on by a thread with Mary J. Blige. And like I'm hoping that this is the juice that this character needs to be actually relevant to this story. Like I honestly feel up until this point, you literally could have plugged anyone into this role, actor wise. Mm-hmm. You could have plugged any black woman into this role. And I feel like that's a disservice. That speaks to what you're giving the character to do. The level of depth you're giving her, because it's been very Manila, man. I swear to God, when they were sitting down having family dinner, that was the first time I've ever seen Mary J. Blige smile in this show. Ever. Even when she was messing with Dante, she wasn't smiling.
Facts. That's a fact.
Like, so she decides to tell Mecca, Dante, whoever, that it ain't gonna happen. Oh, and by the way, you can't see Zeke either.
Yeah.
Now, this man has moved back into New York. He set himself up as your new distributor. He set up trust funds in all your kids' names. He's sitting in the middle of a penthouse in downtown New York, much like Tariq Daddy. You think that man gonna let you tell him that he can't see his son and he in the same city with him right now? You think he just gonna go quietly and frolic back to wherever the fuck he came from and leave you the fuck alone? No, obviously not. Monet has to know that. She's not obviously she is not happy with everything that's going on. Nigga Lorenzo handed her a fucking $1,000 and told her to go shopping. And she like, oh, you must not been watching the first 6 episodes. We are Da Vinci down over here. I wipe my ass with this. Okay? These are my fucking slippers, nigga.
He himself was wearing a Louis Vuitton sweatshirt that probably cost at least a large fraction of that.
There's a power dynamic struggle going on right now. Monet had become the alpha and she was leading the family. The alpha from before he went to jail has returned. He's trying to put her back into her role that is natural to him, at least, right? And she's reluctant to assume that role again. So now there's a power dynamic struggle going on here. Mm-hmm. Could this be the first time that we see Monet play chess instead of checkers? Because a shrewd person, a shrewd woman of her stature would say, I need Lorenzo out of the way. But he's the father of my kids. And I can't go at him directly. So who would be most motivated to get this nigga out of the way for me?
The nigga that you just broke up with.
And how can I most motivate him to blow all of this shit up right now?
The person that you said he couldn't see.
So I'm hoping that's where we going. I'm hoping. Because those were the 2 things that made absolutely no fucking sense to me at all. Was Effie getting back with Tariq and Mary J. Blige tucking her tail and telling Dante that it was everything was off. None of those moves made any sense at first until I thought about it. And I'm like, okay, what else could they be doing here? Because Effie, for sure, Effie, it's definitely in my mind for her to be able to do something like that because she's already told you that she knows how to play a long game as well. Mm-hmm. She's already shown that. Monet, not so much. But it could be a surprise. It could be a surprise. So I'm interested to see how this plays out.
For sure. Have any thoughts about what's going to happen in the next episode?
So Carrie is going to get out. She going to get done in. I think it's really just setting her up. She's making very vengeful, emotional moves right now. She trying to convince my boy Tariq before he's had a day in an actual trial.
Trying to convince the entire class.
Yeah, like he has not been prosecuted on anything. Like first of all, hold on, man. Hold on. All of this for your burning flame for Jabari? The Jabari that you dismissed so that you could fuck Zeke? Because I'm trying to keep up with you, Carrie, but you moving too fucking fast. Where did you have time to mess with the fucking prosecutor or the detective in the middle of all of that? I'm really trying to. And by the way, I guess you had some long-standing relationship with Davis McLean too. Mm-hmm. Somebody don't like Carrie in that writer's room because they making her seem like just a silly hoe, and it's just I don't like it. It's I'm trying to keep.
I wouldn't say silly.
No, I mean it is silly. Educated. Most of the moves that she's made, pre Jabari being killed, have lacked all common sense.
For sure.
Common sense.
For sure. I think we see Kane and Drew get into a fight in the next episode as well. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah. He already knows that he's the reason that Kane is the reason why he got shot, right? Isn't he? He knows that, doesn't he? He already knows that.
I don't know that he does.
That could be what it's over.
Could be.
That could be what it's over.
Oh, you know what? Because I do remember Drew looking at Kane sideways because he was hanging out with LG.
Yeah.
Who wanted a fucking Instagram pic with Lorenzo.
I'm like, hey, yo, bro. Didn't a nigga just break your fingers because you talk too fucking much? because you always got your fucking phone out. You got your whole hand in the splint right now, whole joint. And you want to find another gangster to take a picture with. What's up with you niggas? That's an addiction. Social media is definitely something to get addicted to. 1000%. You niggas are addicted. Stop it. Halt.
Yeah. Any other thoughts at all?
No, man. Again, it didn't feel like we really moved anywhere in this episode, so that was a little disappointing because I was definitely hyped to see something. I was definitely hyped to see some of the big stuff like Lorenzo and Dante. I hope and pray that they're not going to kick this bucket down the road to the end of the season, because that would be very disappointing. Just giving us a bunch of plot filler.
I feel like.
Huh?
They gotta kind of set that up probably with the next episode.
No, but it's been set up. It was set up in the first 6 episodes. Lorenzo's out. Mecca is up the street. They already had an agreement for them to meet. I've had about all the anticipation I can have, because now if they wait until the season finale to finally make them meet, what could possibly happen in between? So what, it's usually about 10 episodes for Power? Is that what's going on? Mm-hmm. So we'll be going into 7, 8, 9, 3 more episodes without what the hell's going on? Did somebody get shot? Is someone in the hospital? Is there a war going on outside? Why the fuck haven't you come down the block playing New Edition? What the fuck's going on? For what reason? Give us your comments and thoughts on this episode of Power Book 2 Ghosts in the comments below. What'd you think? Was Tariq going to end up? What's going to happen with Drew and Kane, Lorenzo, Mecca? A lot of moving parts. Give us your thoughts.
And make sure you check out our Power playlist full of Raising Kanan, Power Book 2 Ghost recaps. And make sure you subscribe. We do this every week.